I'm Jules, your practical mystic, empowering you to walk your mystical path with practical feet. I'd like to talk to you today about flow. Raise your hand if you have ever been faced with a decision in your life where you are terrified to act. I'm going to raise 2 hands because I've been faced with these decisions so often. Most recently, I was faced with a challenging situation where I could stay in my current job that was bringing in income, and I was miserable there. I was totally burnt out. Or I could do what feels like the equivalent of leap off a cliff and put myself out there and begin actually utilizing my gifts and talents. Okay, one's like very comfortable because I know what to expect in this job that I'm totally burnt out on. So much so that I couldn't even bring myself to work full time. No, I was working like 25 hours a week, hating almost every moment of it. And the other one is terrifying because of all of these reasons that my brain decided to come up with to keep me safe and in this very predictable place. My good friend Abby McKenna talks about it as being the devil of doubt, those little voices inside of your head talking you into not acting. Well, here's the thing. In our lives, we have so many of these kinds of decisions that come up, and we can choose to stay on the path that we currently are on, and maybe it's comfortable, maybe it's not so bad, who knows? Or we can leap into some sort of unknown, scary situation. You can tell that it's a big deal for you to make that choice when it's really scary. Okay? I had a teacher who once talked about it being, if it didn't scare you, it wouldn't be worth it. It's not worth it if it doesn't scare you. A magical thing happens when we make these decisions. Okay, now we're terrified to do them. We can like dream about the life way down the road as though we have done these scary things. But to actually act and actually do it is really scary sometimes. But the magic that happens is that once we make that decision, once we make that step, whoosh, we are in the river of flow. We are in this river of balance and harmony. And now I'm not saying that everything's going to go peachy keen forever, but I'm saying that you have elevated yourself. You've actually raised your vibration into this new level, and the universe is going to support you in every way because you have gifts and talents to bring to the world. The Alchemist, gorgeous book by Paulo Coelho. Excuse me if I said his name wrong. It's not the easiest one for me to pronounce, but Paulo Coelho. In The Alchemist, there's a great quote in there. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. But the thing is you can't just like sit back and meditate, do some yoga, and like manifest shit. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to step, and sometimes that step is like a leap, and sometimes that leap is like feels like straight off a cliff, because those are the ones that really matter. Some ways that you know that you are in flow in your life. You start noticing all of these questions that are being answered, sometimes even before you know you have the full question. You might be ruminating about something in your heart. What kind of, what do I do next? What's my next step in my business? What's my next step in my personal life in this direction? Where do I look for a home next? And these answers just kind of bubble up. And they don't, I mean, sometimes maybe they do. For me, for example, it's not like a slap in the face. It's not like somebody runs up and tells me, oh, you need to do this. It's more like, oh, an opportunity presents itself, like a stepping stone just sort of raises. And I just make that next step. And then the stepping stone raises and I make the next step. And then so on and so forth. It's just part of the magic of living in our world. And it takes a lot of courage. I'll leave you with one story about when I was 21 and I was in a really challenging time in my life. Who doesn't remember the 20s being really amazing, but also really not so amazing because you actually don't really know who you are? That was me. I was in a long-term relationship with somebody who was not pitching in. I was working 2 jobs, not going to school, just work, party, 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 party. Great. I was having fun, but I was missing some things. And I just kept giving myself away to this work situation and to my romantic relationship, just giving myself away. And a family member said, hey, you know, doesn't seem like school is your thing. I would suggest that maybe you go to school to just kind of shake things up a bit, but it doesn't seem like that's really your thing right now. What would happen if you were to just like follow your lifelong dream of travel? What if you were to just go travel? I mean, lots of people do it in their 20s, late teens and 20s. They go backpack across Europe. Well, that planted a seed. Holy macaroni. What? I could like do that? Okay, that's too scary. No, so I tucked it away, put it in the back of my head for months. It was months, possibly even like over a year and a half. And this family member just sort of gently just reminded me every now and again, hey, what if you were to do that? Oh my gosh, that's like terrifying. That's like actually what I really want to do with my life right now. But what do you mean do that? That's just too scary. Okay, you get the picture. Maybe you felt this way before. And it just kept gnawing on me for a long time. And situation at home kept getting a bit rockier and just feeling more and more unsettled as I would daydream about myself having massive adventures doing I don't even know what. Until the day I actually summoned up enough courage and money to buy myself a round trip ticket to Europe. And then you know what? Things just started to flow. One thing after the other. Oh, I have friends and family there. You could go stay with them. Boom. Oh, I have another family member. You could go stay with them. Boom. Oh, here, I know how to get really great train tickets. There you go. One thing after the other. It was magic. It was magic. And I'm not saying I didn't have to work for it. I had to save up a whole lot of money. And I'm not saying that it wasn't like hard to leave for about a minute. And then I left. And it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And there were challenging times. But you know what? It was that massive life decision, that rite of passage for me as a young adult. And I had to do it. I had to do it. So what I'm saying to you is that maybe you have some of those seeds of your own planted in the back of your head, or maybe they're not even so far back there. Maybe you know what it is, but you just kind of are just feeling really stuck on the edge. I'm telling you, you make that step, you jump even just a little bit, you will be caught, because the whole universe is there to catch you and to support you. I promise. Blessings on your day. Until next time.